Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another video. This time around we're going to be doing my thoughts so far on Battlefield. This is sort of like, I might do separate reviews, like multiple reviews depending, because obviously the game changes, but this is sort of a mini review right now about the game, and just the pros and cons that I've encountered so far. And I might miss a few things because I just might, but this is what I've encountered so far and can remember. So I'm going to start with the pros of the game, so the good things. And of course these are all very, expected and typical things, but firstly the graphics. Obviously they look amazing, and I'm really enjoying the looks of the game. I love the different weather effects. Like, the only one that I've actually noticed that they really cool is on the map with the I don't know, but basically it switches from sunny to rainy and it gets all stormy real quick, and I really like that. That's so cool to me, and I love how quickly it changes. And this is depending how you're doing, but because I think I'm pretty lucky. I basically have the performance everyone will be getting once it's optimized for multiple things, but I happen to be on a lucky situation somehow. I'm running Windows 8.1 and I've got a 670, and somehow all the drivers work for me, so I'm not having any issues, like no crashing ever, like just really lucky. Anyway, I really like the verticality of the maps, and altogether basically the map design. And of course this isn't about every single map, not all of them are good like this, but the one that I played on my first game, I forget what it's called, it's like Canal or something. That, I would say, is a really good map. I really liked that map. And the reason I like it so much is because, one, if you're playing the team deathmatch or domination style of that map, and it's just in that rooftop area, like the verticality in that area is so impressive, and the amount of routes you can take. And for example, like, they made it so that you can't, like, the one team can't just block off all the routes to get to the rooftops because there's just too many. And yeah, in general, the verticality, you're not just looking left and right, you're looking up, down, and in 360 degrees, because anything can hit you from anywhere. So I think that's a really good setup on DICE's part. I really like that map. Even the destruction part, I don't know what it's called, the thing where the dam falls or whatever, and it becomes an underwater map. I think that's really cool, and yeah, in general, I like that part of the game too. The next thing, and this has to do with graphics too, is the sound. And oh, I forgot to mention this, but none of these are in order about like best or worst things. These are just in general the pros so far. But yeah, the next one is sound. And yeah, basically the sound is just so impressive in this game, and I'm just using a Corsair Vengeance 1500. It's a 7.1 surround sound headset. It's actually a really good headset for what it is. And it's just so impressive, all the things you can hear around you, and the explosions, and the gunfire sounds good, and everything just sounds and looks very good in this game. So if you're looking for a game that's just impressive to look and hear, then this is a really good choice. Obviously, it doesn't look like Crysis. I don't think anything can top Crysis right now. Of course, maybe I shouldn't say with mods, because I'm sure there's some game out there with mods that looks better than Crysis 3, but it's pretty hard to beat Crysis 3. Like, I'd say that's better than Metro Last Light. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. And this is just sort of, if you just want to know, so it's usually a pretty fun game overall. I was having a lot of fun most of the time. Not 100% of the time, but most of the time I was having a good time. Now, this is of course beginning time, so I'm still figuring out what I like and don't like, and guns and attachments, so I would say that it'll get more fun as I learn what guns I'm enjoying, the maps, the game types. I just don't know anything right now. But yeah, in general, usually pretty fun, and I'm having a lot of fun with the game so far. And another pro, which not many people talk about, is I absolutely love the firing range, or like the testing area basically, that you can join, and it's basically solo, and there's vehicles, there's all the different guns, there's the targets, and you can just basically learn how each gun performs at different ranges. I wish they could have Actually, no, I'll talk about that in the cons about the firing range, about some things they could have done to it. Not really cons, but improvements. Anyway, I really like the firing range in general. You can improve on your sniping skills about where to aim if the guy's a certain meters away. It's just very helpful, and I thought that was a super good thing that they added. And lastly, I'm happy that it still feels like Battlefield, and that's something you can always be a little bit worried about whenever there's a new release, is does it still feel like Battlefield or whatever genre it is, or game. And it definitely still feels like Battlefield. It's not like they changed up the game entirely. They simply improved on things that were already there and added new things and all that jazz, you know. In general, it still feels like Battlefield, still having all the explosions and stuff. Now, as I flip the page, because it's the first video where I have a script, not script, but like tip or lists. Anyways, the cons, and sadly, this is just, it might be a little bit nitpicky, but I'm just gonna say all the cons, of course, because in the end I did pay $60 for the game, and you might think, oh, it's only $60, but you know, I expect, you know, I'm gonna say everything I can. I won't just like, oh, it's just, well, you know, I won't like hinder any of the cons. I will mention them to you guys. So the first one is I don't like the modular destruction, and what I mean by that is it's just very, or at least it feels very sort of pre-made, if that makes any sense. Like, it just doesn't feel as dynamic as something like, I forget what that game's called, but you're on Mars or whatever. That game has an incredible destruction system. But you know, I hopefully you know what I'm saying. It just doesn't feel as free as other games, and I enjoy the destruction. Like, obviously it's great that they have it, but if they're gonna say they have like really good destruction, then don't make one drywall like super easy to destroy and then another one not destroyable at all. At least change the materials so that we can understand that, okay, a drywall wall will blow up, but a whatever cement one won't. But still, in general, I feel that the destruction could have been improved on. That's just what I'm gonna say. Of course, I'm not including like the pre-made things where the dam explodes and the you know, all the pre-made things like the whatever it's called, the like all the things, the radar collapses, the, you know, those things where the skyscraper collapses, all those things. Of course, those are amazing, but I still feel they could have done more with the general destruction, if that makes sense. And another one that I personally absolutely hate is I totally despise suppression. I think they should just eliminate that entirely and just keep it skill based, not just, okay, like, you know, like, I just don't like suppression. That's basically what it is. I think they should eliminate it entirely, or maybe servers have the option to opt out of suppression. I'd basically favorite all those servers and play only those, because it just kind of ruins the skill in the game, and you can't, you know, you're just at a disadvantage for being suppressed. And I understand that it kind of makes sense, but no, I actually would say, it sounds weird, but I prefer the Battlefield 3 suppression more than the Battlefield 4, because at least in the Battlefield 3, I'm expecting suppression everywhere, and I played differently, basically. But in this one, it's so, I don't even know, it's just different. And it's obviously way less suppression overall, but yeah, I don't know, it's just not my thing. I don't like suppression. And another thing is the movement, at least to me, feels heavy, and like, so I have a fix for this, sort of, and it's basically when you up the field of view, it makes it so, you know, because it's like fisheye, so you move a little faster, at least it seems like you're moving a little faster. So if you also feel that the movement's a little heavy, just turn up your field of view and it'll kind of fix it. But yeah, overall I feel like the movement is just heavy, if that makes any sense. Like, I turned on Battlefield 3 to kind of just compare them, and at lower field of view I was moving faster than in Battlefield 4, and it basically, that's just a bad thing in my opinion, because the I don't know, the action won't be as fast paced, and in it just, I don't know, it just feels heavy, and I think yeah, the movement in Battlefield 3 felt better, but that's just maybe, again, maybe I'm wrong or whatever. And another thing is that the spawn system, and this is something that they'll fix, I would imagine, like they did in Battlefield 3, and that is the spawn systems, or at least how the spawns, where they spawn you. At least on the smaller game types or maps, like Domination, Team Deathmatch especially, they're really kind of broken. Like, instead of spawning you in different areas if you're doing badly, or if there's a lot of enemies there, it'll just keep spawning you there, which is a big problem right now, and hopefully again they'll fix it. And as for the maps, they're hit and miss. Some of them are really good, like the Canal one that I mentioned earlier. Other ones, I can't remember the names of them, but some other ones just aren't my thing, like I just don't like them. And but yeah, I would say in comparison to Battlefield 3, overall they're much better, but I still think that they're not all amazing. Like, I was watching some other YouTube videos, and you know, these people were just saying, like, I don't know if they were paid or whatever, but they were saying like, oh yeah, the game's amazing, every part of it's amazing, the maps are all amazing, the guns are all amazing, you know, everything's amazing. And you know, I just don't agree with that. I'd say that not all the maps are amazing. Some of them do need some work. No, well, not work, they're already made, but yeah. And then this is another one, and I wish that the Frostbite engine was used in other ways than it currently is. And in this game, I'm not talking about like in different games or whatever. In this game, like it just feels like they're only using specific parts of it. And of course, I don't know anything about coding or graphics or whatever, but just from a player's perspective, it just feels very like they only used, like, they didn't use very much of the engine, or at least all the different ways they could have. They might be maxing it out, but only in certain areas. Like, you know, yes, there's lots of explosions and the guns sound awesome, and the, you know, what's there looks amazing, but like, for example, I wish they had more weather changes, more different environments, and, you know, just, I don't know, just made it a little bit more variable. Like, there's more options in terms of the maps and stuff. And of course, I understand that, like, in Battlefield 3, yes, there is winter maps, there's jungle maps, there's all sorts of maps, but I don't know, I don't really know how to describe this one. I just feel that they could have done more with the engine instead of just sticking to what they know. They could have tried out some different things that would, you know, overall just make it cool. And this is, I think, the final one, and it's the hit detection, or the netcode, or whatever you want to call it. I know that they use the system from Bad Company 2, or at least I think I know that. So technically it should be better than Battlefield 3, but in some cases, it definitely, you know, you're definitely like, what the heck, I was behind a wall, in many cases. And so the netcode, or whatever the heck's going on there, they definitely need to work on that and fix that if they want to, you know, if any competitive guys start trying to play this game, they're not even going to bother, because in many points it does ruin the game. In comparison to Battlefield 3, like, it's you know, hit detection and getting killed behind walls, it depends. Like, overall, I'd say Battlefield 4 is probably a lot better, but it might just be because I'm so used to playing the Battlefield 3 style, where I go to behind cover more willingly and quicker. So it might be the same, actually, but overall, I would say they definitely need some work. I don't really know too much about that, the you know, the tech side of that, but I would say that there's something still obviously wrong with the netcode, and it still needs some work. And I think that's basically my review. Overall, it's a great game. If you're just getting into Battlefield, obviously pick this one up. It's probably one of the better ones. Try out Bad Company 2 if you also, that's a really good one. And all in all, it's a very good game. Some things they could fix, and yeah, really liking the game. Just it does have some cons, and there might be a couple more that I missed. But, and man, this is a long commentary, but I guess it's sort of detailed. Anyway, guys, that's basically it. Tell me your thoughts on Battlefield 3 or Battlefield 4, and how it compares to Battlefield 3 or Bad Company 2, and just everything, your thoughts on this subject. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, rate, comment, whatever, share if you feel like it. But that's basically it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.